going to do spirit read of the day. I'm in here and don't have exactly the same cards, so we'll see how this turns out. Give them a ruffle shuffle, and we'll see what we get. Okay, first card out is transformation. Transformation. That's an odd looking one. What is going on with the face with this? I don't know about that. That's bizarre. And the second one out, we have discernment. Discernment. Always important having discernment. Okay. Now, I think, where is that deck? I think we'll use this one with it. Transformation and discernment. With transformation, we have manifestation. So manifesting transformation, and with discernment, we have resistance. Okay. I see where this is going, and now we'll get our other cards. Let's see, which deck shall we use with that? I think we'll use this deck. Kind of big cards, but it's a beautiful deck, so let's ruffle shuffle these and see what the clarification with this is. So manifesting transformation and resisting discernment. Okay, we have manifesting and transformations. We have the Two of Pentacles. So kind of juggling things, moving forward, but kind of juggling stuff. And with resistance and discernment, yeah, not a surprise. Truth coming out. Okay. All right, so this is an easy one to read. It's about, wanting things your way, and resistance to truth, not wanting to hear the reality, wanting to fantasize or create something different than what's coming down. Now, if you really want to stay in balance, and going forward, the two is kind of get an idea, and then you're kind of wrestling with things, trying to juggle it, trying to get things together, and wanting things in your life. But then again, you're resistant to truth coming in. You don't want to hear the truth, but you can't move forward unless you're willing to hear the truth. If you're stuck in fantasy, and you're stuck in like we have 45 as an example. He's a really good example of this, that he's telling everybody a lie. He won, he's president, and nobody's going to tell him any different. Well, he can't move forward in his life because he is stuck on an untruth and unwilling to hear truth, and unwilling, or maybe has no discernment as to what really this is doing in one's life. So again, if you really want to manifest, transform things in your life, you have to be willing to hear the truth. That's a big part of the path. A big part of the path is about sitting and, again, watching thoughts, see where they come from, where they go to, how a thought will create an emotion in the body, how that affects the physical form, okay? and what you're holding on to, how one thought can create another and create a storyline, okay? So big part of the path is about witnessing, watching what's coming and as it's coming, and questioning it at the deepest level, okay? And that's how one has breakthroughs. It's not, superficially looking at things and then say, I really investigated it. No, this has to go really, really deep, and one has to have discernment. You got to be willing to take off the mask, okay? They have a mask that they want to present themselves as a certain way and are resistant to the truth of what's taking place, and they will create an illusion, a fantasy. It comes out of being delusional, creating an alternate reality which only exists in their mind, okay? So you can't live from an alternate reality of what you're trying to convince yourselves, because other people can see through that. They see through that, and again, one is not benefiting oneself to do that. You've got to really look at truth, and sometimes truth is hard to see, okay? It's not always fluffy. You got to get to really the truth, hard truth. Truth is king, and like this one, when you see this truth, it can be like lightning. It can be shocking. It can be, difficult. It can cut through the moon, through the illusory things. But again, you got to be willing to take off the mask and not have resistance to discernment if you're actually going to be able to go through transformations into manifestations. Now I see what's going on with the face of this. I was like, what is going on? Her face is veiled. It's kind of hard to see there. But her face is kind of behind a veil, so she's really not seeing with clarity. Okay? Again, discernment may not really be there. Okay? So, yeah, a big part of the path is watching. When you look at it, thoughts come from where and go to where. Okay? Where do thoughts come from and where do they go to? And what reality do they have when they're not in your conscious awareness? Okay? So looking at that, what reality do they have in the end? Because you give it life when your focus and attention is on that thought. And it empowers it. It gives the energy for it to create emotion, create another thought, create a storyline. So if you really dig deep into this, and you see thoughts come from nothingness and go to nothingness, then why do you give some of these errant thoughts so much value? Okay? So again, something to look at. If you want to have manifestation, you got to watch out for the resistances to truth. You cannot continue to create a fantasy realm for yourself, because that does not work in the end. So thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think of this spirit read. I love to do the spirit reads because it kind of gives people something that they can think about, contemplate, look at. Is this a benefit, or if it's not? If it's not a benefit to you, let it go, okay? Let it go. You might be, what's that word we were saying today? Resistant to it. Maybe you're not ready to hear it, okay? And you can have a resistance to it, okay? And if that's the case, then okay, let it go for now. Maybe it'll make more sense later in your world, in your path, okay? So thanks for tuning in, Love and Light. See you online.